Welcome back to Our Healer, Our Protector with Ryan Reichert and Lisa
Sander.
Hey, everybody. Super excited here with Legacy Airlines and Leah Woodford's team and crew, along with Broadcast Your Authority. It's awesome to be in Scottsdale, Arizona. And what we're really going to look at is we're on a plane, right? And Lisa and I both had maybe some losses or failures in life, but you get back up. And this is, when do we spread our wings after falling down? And when do you take that leap and look at how life can be good again? And for both of us, like, we've kind of seen that happen over the last 2 years, right? We've gone through divorces. We've gone through our kids not being happy with us. Maybe our parents even wondering what we're doing next in life. And so today we can share that we're doing our podcast and living our life from back of an airplane, a private airplane.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to think how fast life can go and actually become amazing when you spread your wings and take that leap. So here we are.
Yeah, it's okay to go through this faithful journey, and you are going to not always land on your feet right away, or when you feel like you're making a big mistake, that you always keep going. Ryan, we just talked about it this morning. I was talking to a friend I was messaging, and her whole family comes of a line of athletes. And she was telling me how I was inspiring her. And even through my hard times, I've always found joy. And I told her, I'm like, Wendy, you are an athlete in life, because she keeps working hard and keeps going after what she wants, and she won't let anything stop her. And that's how I've always looked at life. Because she's like, Lisa, even when I thought you were happy, and I'm like, I don't want you to get wrong that even through my hard times, I still was happy. But now taking that leap of faith and doing something that you thought you would never do, and look where it can bring you to. Ryan, did you ever think that we would be sitting in a private jet and doing a podcast?
Well, one, I know it took you asking me, would I do this? Because I've mentioned it before, it's not something that would come naturally to me, right? Like, I believe whatever our greatest gifts are, there's going to be something that challenges you. Like for me, like, yes, I'm an author, I'm a professional speaker, and I'm a professional coach. I would say those three would never come into existence. I couldn't read in third grade. I was literally being held back. I think about the speaking side. I always was afraid to public speak. I mean, even in church, growing up, sure, I could read the Bible from the pulpit, but to honestly get up there with my own thoughts, my own feelings, and voice it, I would always, like, it would close up. And so today, knowing that I can coach from this perspective, and just like you do, where we've learned to get back up. I love Rocky so much, right? And realizing that when we get knocked down, we need to get back up again. And so today, it's after we get knocked down, we get back up, and then we literally spread our wings and we jump.
Yeah.
That leap.
I don't want anyone to ever give up. Always have faith. Look at these. Why do people play sports? There's only one winner at the end of a tournament or whatever it may be. And why do you think people come back to play that game again? So the losers, they just all sit back and never play against that team again? Everybody has a chance to win, and not the same team always wins. So we were talking about that with sports. Like,
Well, I think winners and losers, right? I know the World Series just happened, and the Los Angeles Dodgers won again, right? Like, in back to back, they are a winning team. They are winners. Not saying that Toronto Blue Jays were losers or anything like that, but there's that side of it. If you're on a winning team, like, you'll continue to win. And so having that faith and that hope to know that, like, you can get back up and become a winner after becoming a loser. But then the awesome thing about it is like, once you're in flight, like, you'll continue to win. And I think about this all the time now, living in Minnesota. So I grew up in North Dakota, and so I was a Packers fan. So I got it for everybody that's like, Minnesota through and through, and a Vikings fan. You can say whatever you want. Being a Minnesotan now today, I do root for the Vikings, but I look at it from a faith standpoint. I look at it from, like, the Vikes have never won a Super Bowl, And yet 65,000 fans every other weekend go to US Bank and believe that we have a chance, right?
It's like
And it's like seeing Jesus, you can't see him.
when
You can't see him, but he's there. And you go every Sunday, to church, like knowing to have, that eternal life and being a kind, loving person on this earth. That to me is where I really reflect and go like, you know what? That's what winning looks like. I mean, that's what truly winning looks like. That unconditional kindness we talk about, where, you don't let the bad days win. You don't allow the hard, to keep you in the grave. It's one of those things.
so if you're in a spot in life and you've been knocked down or you're in a place that you thought you never would be, I never thought I would ever be divorced. Even through all my hard trials, and here I am, and I want to give faith to people that you can take that leap of faith and you can start all over and look where you could end up. Ryan, when you surround yourself with the right people, things will happen that you never thought would happen. Like you writing books and doing a podcast. When you have someone that believes in you, I believed in you when I saw you, and I've always wanted to do some kind of Oprah Winfrey thing. And Oprah, I'm gonna keep putting your name out there because I'm envisioning you being on my podcast someday, or me being on yours. Um, Ryan, like when you're with the right person, dreams can happen. When you surround yourself with the right people and people that are reaching goals that you always want to reach, don't stay down with people that keep you down. And have faith. And sometimes having faith, um, like what Ryan and I have done, we planted seeds. Yes. How does all this stuff happen? Money makes the world go round. So you do have to invest in yourself. Invest yourself in massages, invest in yourself in yoga, invest yourself in your business. And I just want everyone to know that your dreams can come true, and it doesn't matter how old you are. If I could teach all the young ones, I hope for your dreams to come true, but most of them don't come true at the age when you are 18, 19, 20.
I don't think they come true because you're not ready to be able to hold on to them to keep them. It's like, you know, the rookie who fumbles, right? Do they hand the ball off to him anymore? Does he get to continue to be the leading rusher on the team after maybe one, two, three fumbles in a game? No, he probably gets taken out and somebody else comes in. It's one of those things that over time and space, if we're not ready to hold on to it, like we'll lose it. And that's okay because that pridefulness, that ego that maybe, runs our life when we're younger, can end up getting us in trouble. And just like Lisa said, having someone believe in you, like you first off have to believe in yourself though as well. And I know it's hard. Like you might come from a family where, you were just like the beaten down dog. You could never do anything right. Everything you did in your life, like you were a failure. And, I had someone ask me that a while back, and I looked at it as like a mentorship moment. They were younger, but they, for where they're at in life, they hadn't found the one yet. And they asked, well, you had a failed marriage. And I don't look at it as a failed marriage. I look at it as like, the first time around didn't work out, and I have a second chance today to do better, to take away the things I learned that I wasn't ready for, or I didn't do a good job communicating. You can put the work in and still understand that at the moment, like it's just not the right time. There's things to learn, you know. I have two beautiful children that came out of that relationship. They're in my life today, and you couldn't ask, that's priceless. And so when we really reflect on like the work that we do put in and spreading our wings and flying, like that's what it matters most is those relationships, the fellowship that you have. Your beliefs go a long way. And that hope that Lisa talks about is what allows you, yeah, to have somebody believe in me. Like I know I'm unstoppable then, and I know Jesus Christ, like, is waited a long time for me to finally come home. And now, like blessing after blessing after blessing after blessing. And yeah, if you don't have a coach in your life, like that's the thing, right? Like think of Phil Jackson to the Bulls. Like, would they be as great as they were without Phil? Sure, they had some amazing players, but like, what does that look like to have a coach that's going to put that work in all the things? And oh, by the way, Phil's from North Dakota. So just got to put a shameless plug in for us little North Dakota small town boys and girls out there. But yeah, it's amazing when you really start to reflect on the hard in our lives, be it relationships, be it the physical side of things. I know, for myself, I've had to, literally learn to walk like multiple times from having each leg operate on over the years and so forth. And I know for you, like with your health, like you've had different things that have happened that you've had to like pick yourself up from.
Oh, yeah. I've dealt with Graves' disease. I think the most important thing, is, if you can focus on yourself and really know when something is wrong also. I've done that too. I've been I have asthma. So I've been coughing my whole entire life, and I don't even know how we got on this tangent. Here we go again. But just and being persistent to finding out what the root cause is of why you are being the way you are, what's happening in your body, and resetting and taking care of yourself is so important. And coaching is very important. I also coach. And you ask what kind of coach I am. You're gonna be your cheerleader. I do not, will not deal with negativity. I will show you all the positive stuff in your life, and you're gonna be like, "No, but this happened." I'll be like, "No, but this happened." In the negative, there is a positive. There is lessons learned. And are you going to sit there and keep going back to the past, or are you going to move forward? And that's what we are here to do for all of you. We are moving forward. We are on a jet plane. We are moving forward. We started this podcast 6 months ago, and I can't even tell you how far we've come to even have these conversations. I was, let's see, a year ago, I was about 34 pounds heavier. Where do I go now? But I didn't give up. I was persistent. I stuck to what I was going to do. And I knew that what I wanted my dreams to be, I wanted to travel around and see the world. And how am I going to make this happen? And on the way, you do need to make sacrifices. And you also, again, people, you have to set your stage to have the right people. You put yourself with Ryan and I, we are going to set you up with the right people. If we're not a match for some reason, we're going to find a match for you. And we are Christian based. So I couldn't do any of this of all the faith and hope and love that I have in God. It's been there since I was a little girl. It's something you can't even describe. In all my trials that I've had in life, and I've had them, I have always come out knowing that God is by my side. That's why I've never been afraid to take the leap or the faith. Yeah.
I want to
So
go back to something Lisa said earlier. She talked about focus. And what focus stands for is faith, opportunity, consistency, unconditional kindness, and the standard. And I look at it two ways. So if you're not someone, I went through this, I was raised Catholic, married a Lutheran, and today I just follow Jesus Christ. But I'd say I would have had to start at the end of focus and look at the standard first to get to my faith today. And so what that would look like for someone who's not, in their spiritual element today, like when you can be in your greatest centered soul, you got to start with your standard. What does your standard look like? Do you sleep in till 8 o'clock every morning and you have to be at work at 8:30? Like that standard's probably just going to call survival mode.
yeah.
And, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, go put 6 miles in, lift weights, have a healthy breakfast, read, write, read some more. And that makes sense. I'm an author, I'm a writer. And it's one of those things that whatever you want in life, you got to put the work in to get after that. The non-negotiables there, though, is what do you establish? A lot of times, one of my coaches that I have, says, your 5 to 9 sets up your 9 to 5. We say 4 to 8 because like we just get everything done a little sooner. So then therefore, whatever the evening looks like is done. That unconditional kindness, I mean, that's the simplicity of like smiling everybody you see, you say please and thank you. say, excuse me, and I'm sorry everywhere you go. That's what the you looks like in unconditional kindness. No matter what they ever do to you, like you're kind to them. And that's hard, right? That's really, really hard. For those of you who've seen the old movie Roadhouse, with Patrick Swayze, he's telling us all the bouncers to be nice, right? And they sit there and go like, well, what if they call my mom a bleep, bleep, bleep? And then he says, well, is she? Don't worry about what other people have to say. Be nice. Be unconditionally kind. The consistency goes back to what that standard is. And it's a non-negotiable. You don't put the work in Monday through Friday and then go, sweet, I can like coast Saturday, Sunday. The illusion of time, like in our weeks, like we play that against so many different things. And the problem is then you basically have 104 days a year that you're that much further behind. If you put in 1% a day to be a little bit better, you'll be 37% better at the end of the year.
It's what you, like when you were talking about what you put your time into. Fortunately, I was given the opportunity of working 100 hours in 2 weeks in my past life. And I'm very grateful for that. I could keep my family afloat. But you guys, what you put your time into, the most time is what you're going to get back. When I put 100 hours a week into my 2 weeks of being a nurse, what I got back was being exhausted, being tired, not being able to fill my own cup, not being able to spend time with my mom and dad that I wanted to spend time to because I was exhausted. My kids, I felt like, saw me sleep a lot. And now, for all of you out there, what job that you are clocking in and out, there are other things you can do. You can cut back and do something new. So if you're afraid of change, be more afraid of staying in the same spot that you are in. And I stopped that. I wasn't going to do it anymore. I was lucky enough to find somebody that helped me do that. When you're with the right person, all the things melt and you get to see all the opportunities that you have a chance to.
Well, that's that. She actually just hit the O. So opportunity versus obstacles. So if you look at a mountain in front of you as an obstacle, you're going to do everything in your power to try to go around it as opposed to go through it, over it, whatever that looks like. And then finally, look, we got to the F, and Lisa just talked about fear. No, it's faith versus fear. And if we got to start from the S and move to the F for focus, I don't know what that word is, but for me, focus starts with faith today. And no matter what, that's the strongest version of myself, because I know in the end and through it, like that, it makes you indestructible. It allows you to persevere. You don't allow fear to corrupt each and every day that, like wanting to stay in bed because you don't want to face the day. You don't want to go out there and chase those dreams because maybe you boxed them all up and put them in the storage down the street. You need to have those dreams, those goals, like on your coffee table. So you see them every single day and go, I'm going to put in the work for that. I'm going to keep building what I want, what I dream for. And that's where we get after that focus and knowing that if you don't know how to get there, like you need a coach, you need a Phil Jackson, you need a Lisa, you need a Ryan, you need somebody to help you get to where you want to go. And
we have connections. And you guys, and enjoy life. Have fun. Do something you never thought you'd do. I never thought we'd be on a private jet. And having this experience today, take the leap of faith and your faith in God. Tell him your dreams. Set up your wish list and tell him, and have unconditional love for him and his control. And you can have what we have.
absolutely. And before we end up signing off, I want to send everyone to our new website, ourhealerourprotector.com. So have everyone go check that out and make sure you subscribe, like, and share this episode. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
See ya.